been taught a lot of different things, and we have gone away from a lot of the teachings because Christianity and different faiths and different religions have pulled us into a whole arena teaching away from our higher and greater self, because it was told to us that we were demons if we compared ourselves to be a God, but the Bible said that we are gods. So how can you separate yourself from the Christ consciousness, your higher and greater conscious being? No one is without Christ consciousness. It has not bypassed any one of us. I don't care how much you've been in that Bible. I don't care how much you have been taught all your life. I don't care how many sermons you have preached. I don't care how much you know and how many theological seminars that you have been studying in. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care if you read that Bible 50,000 times from the back to the front, from the front to the back. I don't care how many times. If it has not been revealed through the divine power of your God, your creator, the divine source of the universe, you cannot be detached from it. The teachings and the truth is only going to come from the divine source itself. He is the manufacturer of all nature and humans. Anyone is welcome to the consciousness. Anyone is welcome to the frequency. Anyone. You have to be spiritually awakened by the divine power, by the divine source, your God. Any man, any woman, any child can be a conduit with the divine. He created us in his likeness. He created us in his image. He created us. He put everything from the foundation of the earth. He put it within us. He predestined our lives before the foundation of the earth, before we even came to this earth. Everything was already put within us. We came up in a matrix systems where everybody started programming us to believe the way of the world. But greater is he within us than he that is in the world. Achieving this connection with the higher frequencies starts by rejecting what might be termed as low frequency thinking. And when we're in that state of our low frequency thinking, we are in our ego state of mind, our subconscious mind, our subconscious being, our cells, our worldly pleasures, our conditions of how love is, and I love you if you love me. I love you if you give this to me. That's all the ego mind state. Our fears and our anxieties, our worries and our frustrations, all those things that keep us in the lower part of our state of being. That's your ego state. That is the state of our being that keep us from vibrating and moving into our greater and higher frequency, into our better and higher self, moving into the God consciousness, our Christ consciousness, our higher state of being, our crown chakra, where our kingdom of heaven is. That lower frequency of thinking, it's your pride, it's your fear, it's your loathing of yourself. And these are the low frequencies that must be disbanded. They must be released. That must go away for good. If we are to reach our higher and greater self, your Christ consciousness state of being, your higher consciousness state of being, you don't have to be afraid of that. It's already put in you. That's who you were predestined to be. Before the foundation of the earth, before the world got its hand on you and programmed you, before this world and this matrix system got its hand and teaching inside of your head. If you believe things will always be the way they have been, that is what you will create. As a man thinketh within his heart, so he becomes. That's why we got to guard our minds and our thoughts. We have to renew our mind every day. We have to renew our mind with the God consciousness state of being our higher and greater self, with what the source and divine power universe is teaching us. Connect with nature. Get out there, connect with nature. Get out there, touch nature. Touch the divine source. Touch your life, because the energy that flows from you flows from the Creator into you, and it flows back by going into nature, touching trees, hugging trees, communicating with nature, eating the plants in nature, being in nature, allowing nature to heal our minds and our bodies, allowing ourselves to be awakened to our higher and greater self, to the God consciousness, to the Christ consciousness, to our divine source and power. It's in nature, and He has put it in you. So if you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you do not get zapped by the lower frequencies, because you are God. In fact, you have risen above it all. And like I said, I'll talk about the 7 major chakras in our bodies, and there are videos out there, and I have also did teachings. But we're got to get to the heart chakra, guys. That is where everything begin to open. That's where you begin to start finding what true love is. The unconditional love. You're moving out of the ego state with the world kind of way of love. The conditional kind of way of love. The condition, the way, the control kind of love. You got to get to the unconditional kind of love. And that's where the heart center, that's where your peace is going to start coming in. And when you get through all that, you're going on to your throat chakra, to your pineal gland, it's your third eye, and up to your crown chakra. And that's your heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's the light that everything comes on. That's the illuminating higher part. That's the highest state of your conscious being. Man cannot put God outside of. Man cannot be put outside of God, because God is everything. You call him whatever your God is. Your God has a name. You put your God's name there. I'm not getting into all that. He's my greater, higher consciousness. He's my creator, my divine source and power. But man cannot be put outside of God, because God is everything. God is the frequency of every cell in your being. You are vibration. You are an aspect of the Creator in form, created in His likeness and in His image. You are inherently perfect. And I did a video when He revealed that to me about a month ago, that we are perfect beings. Even like I said, the Bible was always pointing us to our higher and greater self, because in that Bible, your Christ consciousness, your Jesus, He spoke. And it said, be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven, which is perfect. It was telling us that we are perfect beings. When the world system got its hands on us, it did a job on us. It pulled us from all the facets of life that the Creator had created us to be, and who we were, to believing that we were so much lesser, that we were imperfect beings, that we were with flaws, but we are perfect beings. You are inherently perfect, manifested in perfection. That is your true state of being. Be ye perfect. It's in the Bible. I did a video, like I said, about a month ago. Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. He was telling you right there, you are a perfect being. There are many passages in the book that Paul wrote. This gentleman, I was just telling you, he wrote in his book, Sea Leg. There are many passages that's talking about our higher frequencies, and how to open up this energy in us, and how to realign our conscious mind. And that book is a very good book. So I am now choosing to think those thoughts which bring me peace and it will align me to my higher consciousness self. And you cannot align to your higher consciousness self. First, you got to really fall into a totally, absolutely divine peace. First, you got to fall in love with who you are, with yourself, and then he will reveal more of who you are, your purpose, and who you create you to be. And you cannot love anybody outside of you not loving you, but you begin to love yourself, then you will know how to love other people. This book, I Am Word, is a very good teaching. The Word, I Am Word. Go and find that book. It is an awesome teaching. Let's continue there. You all have the ability to be a tuning fork for the higher frequencies. And when you set the intention to vibrate at a higher frequency, your frequency changes. And the feeling in your energy field, it will actually shift. And your vibration will attune to a higher octave. You'll be playing at a different beat. You'll be playing at your higher and greater self. And you'll be pulling yourself away from that ego state, the lower consciousness, your subconscious state of being, and to your higher consciousness, your Christ consciousness. You will feel a different vibration, a more energized movement. So each time you progress in your higher frequency, you attain the information and the consciousness that you have come to. That's when the awakening is really on, guys. And like I said, nobody can awake you. You can't even wake yourself. The only way that you can wake yourself, that you have to yield into the divine power when he's nudging you. When he's nudging you. When he's sending people to speak something into your life, to share information, to share experiences about your higher, greater conscious self. You might want to pay attention, sit up, slap yourself, say, wake up. Something is good is coming at me. Something great is coming to me. And I need to hear this. But if you choose to sleep and slumber and stay in that state, you will stay in your lower density in your ego for your entire life. Your Christ consciousness represents a change in your own consciousness. A change in how you experience yourself on a moment-to-moment basis. And I'll tell you, I live in a moment. I forget time, I forget days in a heartbeat. I mean, because I live from day to day. I live about the way that the divine power in the universe speaks to me. A lot of times I'm not really aware of the days or the time or that's around me unless I'm in an environment with those people who are living in time of the things that we've been programmed, you know, days of the week and the hours on the clock, and I don't go there too much. You are changing your path to vibrate at one with your Christ self. And you understand what I just said, your Christ self. You are calling these energies to yourself. And once this change has been made, your feelings in your body will begin to shift as you begin to exist in a higher frequency. And when your divine self works at a higher frequency, it doesn't really get angry. And I was saying, when you reach that place of peace, none of these things move me. People, I don't care what they do to you. I don't care how many times they hurt you. I don't care how many times they pull the rug up for under your feet. How many times they purposely, deliberately try to hurt you. You just can't hate them. You just can't not lose your peace with it anymore. You just keep loving people. You got to get to that place where you want to let go of your emotions. Those things will tie you to your lower self and your ego state of being, your lower conscious self. Your feelings, lose them. Once this has changed, this change has been made. Your feelings in your body, it will begin to shift as you begin to exist in a higher frequency. That's the place of peace, the place of unconditional love, and the light that has been turned on by your higher conscious mind. You will begin to witness the divine perfection that is in every man and in every woman that you encounter, because now you begin to see their truths are their truths, your truths are your truths, her truths is hers, and his are his, and everybody has their truths. Your divine consciousness self is revealing to you now that everybody has a right to believe what they believe, to speak what they want to speak, to live the way they want to live. You live out your truths, you live out your way of thinking, your faith, your belief. Your gut intuition will guide you into the area where you will bring yourself into your divine perfection. When you move to this level of identification, you will resonate at a higher frequency. You align yourself to the Christ consciousness. You know that God is in everything and everyone and cannot be otherwise. I'm telling you, that is a state of truth. And I may need to repeat that again. You know that God is in everything and everyone and cannot be otherwise. When you resonate at this frequency, you'll bring those around you into the same frequency and aligned with the Christ consciousness. You are a benefit to all of those you encounter, because now you become light, you are love, and you're peace, and you're walking in your higher, greater self, and you're edifying, you're motivating, you're inspiring, and you are your authentic, beautiful self. And when your people begin to see all of that within you, they're going to want to connect with you. They want to know, what is she doing that is so different? What is he doing that is so much elevation? I want to go there. I want to feel that. So you're a benefit to those that you encounter. But be true. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. Be authentic. Be real. Be me. Your choice right now is to embark upon this consciousness shift with a decision. These higher frequencies are already working within you, because the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Your heaven is your Christ consciousness, your higher state of being. It's your higher self, your higher and greater consciousness, the higher and greater consciousness that you will ever can imagine or reach. Believe that you can lift your frequencies and exist at this level, and you will. You will totally exist at that level. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he becomes. As you speak your words out, your words become your reality. Be careful on how you're speaking, what you're speaking. And go back and study. Go back and learn. Read for yourself. Do not get offended when someone's bringing to you new information that you have not yet received, or you have not even heard or studied. Because you have not studied, don't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's false. I mean, it does not mean that it's inaccurate or false. It means that you just have not heard it. It means that you have not yet been awakened to that place of your higher, greater self, where the universe will start revealing things to you. We start bringing truths to you. We start shedding more light about who you are and who you're created to be. So don't be offended. And if you're not awakened yet, don't fear it. When the universe sends someone your way, or when the universe put information and knowledge that you never read or never heard of in front of you, don't be afraid. Step into it and say, what you trying to show me? Reveal to me. I'm ready to be open to this. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to know more about what you're trying to show me. Why are you bringing this to me? How can this be applied to my life? What is this for my life? How am I supposed to use this for my life? Show me. Be willing, be open. And then he will bring more and more and more revelation. He will start bringing more people in your path, your tribe. You'll become awakened to your divine higher conscious self, your Christ consciousness. And on that note, do not be offended. You are God. Go back and read the scriptures. I gave them to you already. You are God. Psalms 82:6. I have said you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. You are gods. John 10:34. Jesus answered, your Christ consciousness answered them and said, is it not written in your law, I have said that you are gods. So you are gods. It's nothing to be offensive about. It's nothing to be hurtful or embarrassed, or it's nothing to be fearful about, except what he said. And I'm going to just read this one, and then I'm out of here. Another scripture. I'm going to the Bible. 1 John chapter 4, verses 4 through 6. 1 John chapter 4, verse 4 through 6. You are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Now, what is it saying? It's in you. That greater, higher Christ consciousness, your God consciousness, your higher, greater state of being is in you. It is so high tech in you. You're your greater consciousness self. Greater is in you that is in the world. This matrix system out there has no power over you. It has no control. Only the power and control that you give over it to it. The Bible told you the greater one is in you. Your higher and greater consciousness, your Christ consciousness. He lives in you. The kingdom of heaven is in you. It's greater than the matrix systems. The world system is greater than all these teaching that these people come to try to enslave you and trap you to keep you in your lower state of being, your subconscious being. Get out of that. You are your higher and greater self. Verse 5. They are of the world. Therefore speak they of the world. The world heareth them. You're not of this world. You are your greater and higher consciousness self. We are of God. He that knoweth God, then he hears God. You got to hear the voice of the universe speaking to you. You got to hear your God consciousness, your Christ consciousness of trying to awake you. You better listen. Open your ears and hear. He is speaking to you. He that is not of God, he will not hear the divine source, the higher power. He will not hear God. He will not even spend time in the universe. He will not go out into nature trying to get in tune with the universe. He will not allow the frequency of the universe to elevate and to move into a higher vibration of the universe and our divine higher self. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Guys, get it. We are gods. And it's no offensive to say it. And you are not going to hell because you say it. The Bible said it. Say what the Bible says. If you big on that Bible, if the Bible said, then be bold enough to stand up and say, I trust what my Bible said. I believe what my Bible said. It said, I am God, because it spoke it right out of here. Your Christ consciousness, your God, your higher power, your higher source spoke it for you. So speak it. It's okay. On that note, I'm out of here. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I'm going to get out here and do some things and get into nature, and I'm done. Just hope that you'll be able to receive it. On that further note, Destiny again. Love you guys, and I know it was long, so a little heavy teaching, and just study for yourselves. All I got to say is study for yourselves. Get deeper into your studies. Spend time talking with your higher, greater consciousness. Talk to God. Talk to the universe and allow him to reveal this to you. Get yourself out of the way. Yourself are always going to be in error. I love you. Namaste.